Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shop Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Wednesday, January 29th, 2025. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my top play in college basketball, which is my Bank Shop Best Bet, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Wednesday in college hoops. First up, it's Houston and West Virginia. This one is 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN+. Now, there's 52 games on the board in college basketball for Wednesday. And, for me, I don't really love the card from a betting perspective. I think there's a lot of great games to watch, including this one. But overall, not too many great value spots. I'll be treading lightly. Maybe you guys like the card a lot better than I do. But for me, in this game, when you look at West Virginia, we know this is a strong defense. The offense has been inconsistent, and that's why I don't really love laying a lot of points with this team like we saw against Arizona State. We took the Sun Devils in that game, and they won outright. Arizona State did 65-57. But West Virginia's also had a couple of really nice upset wins this year. A road win at Kansas, which is very rare, and a win against Iowa State most recently on January 18th. So West Virginia is, a team that's pretty dangerous as an underdog because of that strong defense. I think that's the case here. I think this is a great spot. We're getting a good amount of points here at West Virginia playing at home, which this is a very good home court advantage. You bring in Houston, that's on a nice win streak, and coming off the double overtime win at Kansas in their last game is a clear letdown spot for the Houston Cougars. I expect a low-scoring defensive battle. I think the points are even more valuable in a game like this. Give me West Virginia, and also a revenge game for West Virginia. They lost the first meeting at Houston. Give me the Mountaineers plus the points in this one. Next up, it's Duquesne and St. Joseph's. This one's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN+. St. Joseph's coming off the loss to Dayton, but that was a very competitive game. It was a single-digit loss, 77-72. It was a true road game against a Dayton team that's playing great basketball right now. So I don't really put too much weight into that loss. And honestly, when you look at the Hawks' schedule this season, they really only have one bad loss. It was the beginning of the year, a home loss against Central Connecticut. But outside of that, they haven't lost to a team outside the top 150 in KenPom, and they have a couple of nice signature wins over Villanova, Texas Tech, the road win at Davidson. And I like St. Joe's in this game. I think they're the better team on both sides of the ball. I even trust their offense a little bit more. And, this is a team that takes a ton of three-point jumpers. They make them at a good rate, and that's bad news for Duquesne. This is a team that struggled defending three this year, 315th ranked in the country in three-point defense. Also, Duquesne, one of the weakest free throw shooting teams in the country. I don't love that combination when you're playing on the road. Add to the fact that Duquesne is not a great defensive rebounding team, and they turn the ball over quite a bit. They're not in great form. They're coming off the upset loss to Fordham, which, we took Fordham in that game. It wasn't a popular play. A lot of people went the other way, but Fordham got the job done nonetheless in a close one. I think St. Joe's wins this game by double digits. I'm going to lay the points with the Hawks. Next up, we'll go back to the Big 12 as Oklahoma State takes on Kansas State. This one is 8 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Kansas State definitely has a very strong home court advantage, and we saw them win another game last time out, a win over West Virginia. They have 2 conference wins this year. Both of those were at home against Cincinnati and West Virginia. But for me, I mentioned Oklahoma State. I watched their game against BYU a couple of weeks ago. It was a game they were down by 27 points in the first half, but all of a sudden they called a timeout and battled back in that game. Got the deficit down to 3 points at one point, and while they failed to cover in that game, I really thought it was kind of a turning point in their season in terms of starting to get things going on the offensive side. Most importantly, the defense has already been okay. I mean, they're a good rebounding team. They force turnovers, but the offense, not a great shooting team. They don't really take too many great shots, but they've been really improving, and now we see in Oklahoma State's last 3 games, 2-1 against the spread, and they have a win in conference play over Colorado in that span, a 10-point victory where they scored 83 points. They were even competitive on the offensive side against Arizona in their game on January 21st, and competitive on the defensive side against Texas Tech in that most recent game in Lubbock where they were getting 18 points, only lost it by 10. So I've been impressed with Oklahoma State recently. I'm going to take them in this spot. I don't think Kansas State should be laying this many points against anybody in this conference. So give me the Cowboys plus the points. I think they have a chance to win it outright. Next up, it's DePaul and Yukon. This one is also 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on Peacock. Your DePaul, we've mentioned, has really struggled in Big East competition, not just this year, but in the last decade plus. and they have a win in conference play so far, but they're still 1-7 this season in the Big East. And that one win over Georgetown was a game where the Hoyas were actually missing a couple of their best players. Thomas Sorber was out. I think Epps was out of that game as well. So when you look at DePaul now, since that win over Georgetown, they had the 73-49 loss to Creighton and the 17-point loss to Butler. They are really struggling, and now they have to go on the road and play Yukon. And, Yukon at the beginning of the season, a team that was taking a ton of threes, making them at a good rate, but now they're a little bit more balanced. They're not taking as many three-point jumpers as they were. They're still a good three-point shooting team, but their offense from two-point range is 7th best in the country, and that's a problem for DePaul where they give up a lot of their points via two-point field goals. I think UConn's offense is way too much in this game. I think they score in the mid-80s, maybe even the 90s. I think there's enough for a win and a cover. Give me UConn. I'm going to lay the points. And the final game we're going to talk about for Wednesday's card in college basketball, it's Nevada and Boise State. This one is 10 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Now, we took Nevada on Saturday and got crushed in that game against San Diego State. I mentioned I'm not big on San Diego State this season, so a 19-point loss there for Nevada is very concerning for me. I don't like their chances in this game on the road against Boise State. I still think the Broncos are a really underrated team in this conference. They have struggled in recent games. They've lost 4 of their last 6. But I think shot quality-wise, one of the better teams in the conference, one of the best rebounding teams in the country, which is important against Nevada. And one of the biggest differences, between these two, both teams do a great job of getting to the free throw line, but Boise State's ranked 22nd in the country in free throw shooting. Nevada, one of the worst in the conference and in the country at 68% as a team. I'm going to go with Boise State in this one. I think they win this one very comfortably. And that's it. Those are the games for Wednesday in college hoops. Hope you enjoyed this video. And again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pickdawgz Premium. There's also a link in the description. Check out that Bank Shop Best Bet, my top play in college basketball. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.